Hi, my name is Mayar Osama and we're Team Embedded. I'm here to tell you about the general structure of our project or the aim of our project. The aim of our project is to create a smart classroom environment in which we have two modes, a normal mode and an exam mode. In the normal mode, we have the sensors to sense the number of students, and then we have the lights to indicate whether there is a freeze desk or not, and the number of students is displayed on the LCD. And in the exam mode, we have all the lights are on, and we enter the remaining time and the start time, and they are also displayed on the LCD. We shift between these two modes using a switcher. We click on that button so that we can change from one mode to another. And at the end of the exam mode, to indicate that the exam is over, we use a buzzer. The buzzer is connected to the breadboard, and the breadboard is connected to the Arduino pin 31. To make a noise to indicate that the exam is over, we set the buzzer from the beginning as an output pin, so that we can write on it 0 to make no noise and 1 to make noise. We connected it to pin number 31, and we used the setup to set it as an output pin, and then we write on it 0 as the default and 1 when the time is over.
Hello, my name is Ram Tariq. I'm going to be showing you how we implemented the desk and the light matrix of the project. We have six desks in our matrix with 6 lights that correspond to each one of them, and sensors to light the bulbs for each desk. So, for example, if one person comes and sits in the class on desk 1, for example, its light is turned off to show that there is a person sitting in this desk. If another one comes in, then another light is turned off. If all the students are in, all the lights are turned off. Okay. We have defined the desk pins for the lights in the start of the code, and the sensor as well. We output the value for each desk in this way: pin mode, desk 1 output, and so on. The sensor, we take the input in a similar way, but it's input, not output. We read the value of each sensor each time all the time in the code, and if it's not in exam mode, and we save it in variable called senseRead1 for sensor 1 and senseRead2 for sensor 2, and so on. And then we digitally write on the desks with these variables that we assigned in the previous step, so that each sensor is connected to specifically one desk. That's it.
Hi, I'm Yasmin Hani. I'll be explaining the light system component of the project. The light system is arranged such that we have 2 light bulbs between each 2 desks, and the first row always lights up whenever we have anyone in the room, such that they can see the board. The board is supposed to be here. And as to the LEDs, the first 4 LEDs, first 4 from here, correspond to the first row of the light system. So they're always on whenever we have someone in the classroom, and the last 4 only light up whenever we have someone in the back room. So as you can see, first all the LEDs are off because there's no one in the classroom, and then if someone sits in the back, the 2 light bulbs in the back light up, as well as the first 4, so they can see the board. And if someone sits at the front, as you can see here, only the first 4 LEDs light up, so they can see the board as well. As to the code, As you can see here, this is the condition. This is the condition that checks if there's anyone in the classroom, such that the first two light bulbs light up. Bulb 1 and bulb 2 variables correspond to this one and this one. And then the rest of the conditions, they check if there's anyone in the back row, so they can light up the corresponding light bulb group. That's it.
Hi, my name is Renim Rafad. I worked on the keypad component in the project. This is our keypad. It's a 4x4 keypad. We use it in the exam mode to input the duration and the start time of the exam. Now I'll press the button to go into exam mode, and I'll use it to enter the start time and now the duration. Okay, now when we use the keypad, we use C to indicate that we're going to input the start time, and we use D to indicate that we're going to enter the duration. In the code, first we include the keypad.h, and then here we input the characters to put each character that corresponded to the character in the keypad, and we define the rows and the columns of the keypad. And here we show the row pins and the column pins that are input to the Arduino. Okay. Okay. Now here we use a switch, so to switch on the characters that are inputted. Here we use the condition to check if the letter input is D. We take the input that's after it as the duration, and if the input character was C, we take the character inputted after it as the start time. We use two special characters, the hashtag and the asterisk. The asterisk, we use it to make the LCD show the colon in the start time, and this is its part in the code, in this if condition. And the hashtag, we use it so the user can indicate that he has finished inputting the duration or finished inputting the start time.
Hi, I'm Aya Ayman, grade 3T7-2656, a student in the embedded course. I worked on the LCD. The LCD here shows the number of free desks as long as the number of students in the class. We have now 6 free desks and 0 students. When any student sits, the number changes. We now have 4 free desks and 2 students in the class. In the exam mode, the LCD shows the start time and duration of the exam. The connections of the LCD, we connected the most significant data bits, which are from D4 to D7, and the VCC and ground connections. Here in the code, we import liquidcrystal.h library, and then we define the pins that are connected to the Arduino. Here, every time we want to write on the LCD, we set the cursor from the beginning, and with LCD.println, we write what we want to show on the LCD, and that's it.